One week we are getting entire new songs and snippets that I'm going to play for you today, and the next week it's just nothing. But it actually looks like we are still very slowly moving into the Baby Boy era for Playboi Carti, his new record. So today we're going to go over all of the news on this, so let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. You can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So as I said, one week we think it's dropping, the next is just nothing again, but this is just how it goes with Playboi Carti. We go through these phases. He talked about it himself. This is what he does. And most recently, he was asked by a fan when Baby Boy would be dropping, or if it would be dropping, and he said, "I'm going to."
Drop Baby Boy! You got to, bro. You got to. Yes! You're the GOAT! You're the GOAT! You're the GOAT! You're the GOAT! You're the GOAT, Carti. You're the GOAT. You're the GOAT, man. You're the GOAT.
So we heard it from himself. It seems like he knows about the record. Sometimes that is a better sign than just not getting anything, because then you might believe that he just completely forgot about it. But anyway, he hasn't been very active on his main account or on Opium. We did get a new fit pic. It's just stuff that we get with a random caption. It doesn't really mean anything. Now, one big thing though that happened over the past couple of days was that on his main account, on Playboi Carti, he actually added a new story highlight. Like, you know, the little things you can add at the top of your Instagram profile where you can save stories. This is called BB, for Baby Boy, obviously. Now, this is not very far-fetched because that's just how he's been abbreviating this the entire time. So this is very clearly for that. So again, it looks like he's aware of this. It looks like we are moving into the right direction. It's just a very small process. Now, in this story highlight, it's just the two stories, the two most recent stories, maybe indicating that now was a cut and now we moved into the Baby Boy rollout era, the past 3 days or something like that, ever since that came up. That's copium, I know, but maybe this is what it means. Now, one thing that people were looking out very closely for over the last couple of days was last Friday, July 4th of July, when NBA YoungBoy dropped a couple of singles. Now, originally, he was supposed to drop the entire record, Make America Slime Again. We thought that Carti was going to be on there. Nobody ever explicitly said it. There were a couple of small hints. People were just kind of expecting it. He had like one ad-lib on one of the songs, so it really wasn't anything big. It was more so disappointing to the fans that, you know, stayed up all night to hear Carti on the YB record, and then he just never came. It is what it is. He's just not on there. We didn't get any new info from that. Also, what we have to cover, which is going to be very interesting because this is at least some very concrete material that we can work with when it comes to Baby Boy, is we talked about the first, you know, after party that he had for the Dawn FM After Hours Till Dawn tour. He was on with The Weeknd, where he's filling up stadiums. We talked about the one on June 27th at the Zouk nightclub in LA, where he, for example, previewed the song with Drake, Slide In. If you haven't heard that yet, here is a snippet of it.
Sliding around, look at the things I have done. Popping girl, I am. See, I am.
And then he had a second one on June 30th that we haven't actually talked about, but which is obviously very important. He also played new music there, and that is obviously always very interesting because he is very generous with just, you know, giving us new music and with letting fans hear snippets of new stuff that's to come. Now, let's go through these snippets together because at least they're very telling about the direction he's headed in musically. Now, first of all, we have a song called Bang Bang. Here is a little snippet of that.
Put my diamond skies on, back on bad shit. Put my vibe on the phone and she sends me. Make a climb on the wall in my mansion. I'ma sit at her way almost the next shit. Then beat it right. I just put her on my shoulder and then I passed it. I've been dropping in my soul like I'm crazy. I'ma dive in her pussy, she amazing.
Now this sounds good. I think this is what a lot of people also want. I can only imagine how that, really hit when you were there live. But I'm hoping that this will make the record. Baby Boy, it seems like everything he's previewing right now is also going to be a part of the track list. I mean, just these small hints, like him doing the story highlight, him saying he's going to drop the record to that one fan, means that anything we're getting at this point is connected to the record. At least that's what I hope. Now, we also had a very hype snippet that is unfortunately not very clear because they're screaming around, but Free 31 GK Blow. Here is that. Now, let me know what you think about all of these, obviously, in the comments. Some of them are better than others. From this one, I can't really tell a lot. It's just, them screaming around. But stuff like this is always pretty good. It's always nice to hear new music. We also, for example, had these Instagram singles where we thought, okay, we're getting into that again, like the Some More single that he dropped on his Opium Finsta account. Here's a little snippet of that if you haven't heard it yet.
I see the future just like Cleo. Lost on Mars. Once more, once more, once more. She evil like a motherfucker, I don't need fucking no more. I said to him, 30 for 30, they don't want to beat no more.
Now, this was one we talked about already. We also had the Youngboy single, which was kind of the reason why a lot of people thought he was now going to be featured on this one as well back in May. But at least we're getting music. We are actually very, very consistently getting new music and getting previewed new music from Carti. So it's not like we're getting nothing. This is better than a lot of times were before I Am Music dropped. So honestly, right now, I don't even want to complain. I just think it's a very slow process to Baby Boy or to getting anywhere close to it. And honestly, at the rate that we're going right now, the whole theory about it not dropping before September after the tour ends could very well be true. So if we don't get Baby Boy before middle of September, I wouldn't be surprised. At this point, that's only 2 months in the future. So you also have to remember that. I don't think we're getting it before that. So the theory that we had back in March, that might actually be true, that we're getting it in September after the tour is over. But honestly, I wouldn't even be that mad. I mean, we're getting 2 Playboi Carti records in a year. It's just that sometimes he announces them differently and we think we're getting more than we actually end up getting. But let me know what you think about all of this, about all of the new snippets that he played and what you think could be the start of this new Baby Boy era, maybe through the Instagram thing or anything else. But let me know all your thoughts on this in the comments down below.
If you watched this video to the end and liked it and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day and you'll take care.